Today I think we're going to be going for the gold. Make sure you guys smash the and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So today I want to go back through some of the original gold series. You know, how did Konami manage to drop the ball on probably one of the nicest design sets throughout the honestly course of the game, and Crush Card's kind of the poster card for this. Now, interestingly enough, quantities of Crush Card are getting a little bit lower as the sun is setting here. We currently have 11 listings, of which, to be honest with you, we have a Spanish listing and then we have a German listing here at 60. But if you're looking for near mints now, you're looking at $100 per single copy of these. These have actually gone up more so now than they have previously. You used to be able to buy light play all day long, much cheaper, but it appears right now quantities of those cheaper ones, they don't exist anymore, which is kind of sad. I see the Mirror Force has still got a market price 33. These are starting to get a little bit lower in listings. Dark Magician of Chaos also kind of sunsetting here with 12 listings at looks like positively $24 a piece. Breaker, the Magical Warrior Gold Rares. It's kind of a sad one because these look so good for their gold rares. These are $18, heading on up to nearly $20 for the near mints. The Blue Eyes Ultimate Gold Rare. Man, I've actually not seen one of these in years. These are holding about $12 on market. Brain Controls still holding about 11. Heavy Storms. But if you're also noticing something here, quantity of these is just very low. Cyber Dragon, I think, is the first one I've seen above 30. And then, of course, Torrential Tributes, still $6. This set, while it was not like... It hasn't aged well. It's aged well, but it's not aged well. A lot of people want these versions just because they have nostalgia for this gold rare. But also, some of the comments from this set still have great value. Like Needleworm, for example. Dawn's Lugs are still kind of propped up. The Grandmasters, as you can see here, feels like so miscut for the picture that they actually have up on the Grandmaster. But that's what nearly 20 years of Yu-Gi-Oh gets you, because you know we're 18 years old on this set to at this point, which is kind of crazy. Golds are also still worth a little bit, but as you can see, you know, you're starting to see the cheaper side of things. Also, I do see commons from this set rotating. Like every once in a while, somebody will come through and try to buy something. Promethean, the King of Shadows. This is still relatively cheap, but I know that people did like this card. The Rare Metal Dragon. This was what, his reprint away from the movie pack. These are still pretty cheap. So, you know, in hindsight, looking at this set, minus, you know, the Crush Card and, you know, like the Mirror Force, this set is horrendous in terms of like looking back on this. This was like peak Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember that Summoner of Illusions we joked about. Also, there's no Gold Series 1 on the market. I don't think it's the last time we had it. There's been none of these. That's kind of crazy to think about. Now, a series that you will see more of, the 2009 Gold Series, you do see these pop up on the market. These are currently 170. These were the infamous, famous chocolate boxes that, you know, you would open up and you get your one pack out of. Definitely an interesting design space for Konami to test out, but I don't really feel like that aged well. Now, this set has a lower value to the ground, obviously, in comparison to the other set where, you know, it was Crush Card Mirror Force. This set, your highest valued card is actually Dark Arm Dragon. But, I mean, he's pushing $37 now in Gold Rare, which is actually kind of impressive. Gold Sarcophagus was another one. This was a pretty major reprint for the time, you know, getting a Gold Sarcophagus reprint. Okay, thank you, TCG player. I didn't want to look at my Gold Sarcophagus either. It was quite an interesting thing just to see for the time that, you know, Gold Sarcophagus had gotten a reprint. Looks like Bottomless Trap Holes, still $17 on market price. That's crazy. Caius's once again, are our quantities really low in these? Gold Sarcophagus has 40 on the market, which I guess isn't insane, but Bottomlesses are 20, Caius's are 16. You know, Solemn Judgments coming in at 19 listings. Test Tigers are still pushing $10 a piece, but the reality is, I mean, like, this is probably one of the better looking Test Tigers you can get. Obviously, I think we have Platinums and so forth now, if you wanted to run out and get some of those, but I just, the gold is nostalgic. These are $8. The Future Fusion's holding a mod play price at $5. That's interesting. How much is a near mint now? $10 on a near mint Future Fusion? Okay, I mean, It's not great. Adjusted golds. I love that this bag card is still holding at like $5. Specifically for the gold 2009 print. That's crazy. Phoenix Wing Blast still got some value. Prime Material Dragon. You know, for this card's era, like, this card was crazy because it was a life point increase. Like, if you deployed this against any burn deck in the early block, this card was just kind of crazy to deal with. And then it also had built-in protection. So, you know, for the era, this was just a broken card. Like, absolutely. Hey, you get a free increase. So just deploy this built-in protection. I mean, Prime Material Dragon was a nuts card for this era. We also see Des Volskov down here. Sadly, that, you know, this was coming off of his reprint. He's still very, very cheap. Gold Mind Controls are also $3 to $4 a piece. Decently large amount of these still running around in the market at the $4 to $5 mark, which is kind of nice. Volcanic Rockets still got a little bit of value. Treeborn Frogs from this set are also still worth a couple of dollars. I'm not surprised to see, like, organic staples from this era actually having value. RFG, good old Royal Firestorm Guards, still has value. It's only like $2, but it's still definitely the penny stonk department. Zobworks from this set also passively still sell about $2 a piece, which is not crazy to think about. Skyscrapers still up there, Thestalos. I also just sold some Irus, sold some of these actually fairly recently, which is kind of crazy to think about looking back on this. Monarchs, yeah. This set, I feel like the reprint pool that was available in this set was a little bit higher quality than kind of what we've seen with some of the other sets. I'm not saying that, like, it's necessarily bad or anything, but let's be honest here. You know, Crush Card was the first thing that held up the first set. This set brought in, you know, Monarch reprints, Six Samurai stuff, you know. Card quality feels a little bit better on that department. And then, of course, we had the infamous Gold 3. Now, this set, Thunder King Ryo is your poster child. And obviously, I mean, before the reprints, this card was probably a lot more dangerous to have running around in terms of value, but you can solidly see $18 a piece is kind of what you'd expect. Dimensional Alchemist has also been an insanely priced card for a lot of his life. But I think a lot of this reason was just because the era that Dimensional Alchemist became insanely good in really actually mattered. Because, I mean, he was an 18k attacker. When he's destroyed, he floats into something, which was, I mean, incredibly useful. He definitely was a card of all time for his era. Stardust Dragon, also some decent value still, $6. My Body is a Shield. This one has been gaining some weird traction. I think a lot of it's like older format application. As we can see here in our sales data, last sales were on the 29th. So, I mean, like, this card tends to move like every other day, which is not all that surprising. But, I mean, it's a free pay $1,500 and make sure your monster doesn't actually get obliterated. You know, it's the self-replacement. Well, I can't even say it's really a replacement effect. It's basically protection. And obviously, I see why this card is kind of held up over the years. Meanwhile, gold MSTs, I'm sure most of you don't remember how bleh these actually looked, but these are $4 to $5 a copy right now, which I don't think is too bad. Shuras from this set are also like one of the most insanely valued things that you can kind of walk into. Like, good job to seeing this card be $6, but bleh. That's rough, man. Prismas from this era also have some insanely good value still. You're pushing like $4 to $5 a piece, which actually is not bad. Armed Wing, I mean, to be fair, Armed Wing did have value before, but it's just the more that you look at these sets, I don't know, man. The more intrigued I get. Smashing Grounds is still $3. Icarus Attack still $3s. The JDs, I mean, unfortunately, these just don't look good. The Gales looked a little bit better from this block. Siroko's still had a little bit of value. But the set definitely has one of the most expensive commons out of the entire block. But that should actually scratch your itch for nostalgia today. I'm pretty intrigued with how these Gold Series sets have looked. But, I mean, there was definitely a time where they were better. Were they? Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.